Hello, all you wrap-up lovers out there, and welcome to Undeclared Bajor.
Wow.
My name is Fletcher, about to say hello is Data.
Sup?
Today we do our wrap-up discussion of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 4. This season our heroes faced brutal personal challenges, strained relationships, shocking betrayals of characters that were here the whole time. It was a season of rising tensions, increasing dread, the ground shifting so gradually that we find ourselves toeing the precipice, staring over the edge into total chaos and wondering, how did we get here? There's war, rumors of war, political upheaval at home and abroad, the subtle, hair-raising sensation of sinister forces lurking just out of view, hiding in the dark like greedy wolves waiting for the last embers of a campfire to die out. One can't help but dwell on the haunting words of W.B. Yeats. What rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches toward Bethlehem to be born. And also, Worf joined the show.
It's funny because I was waiting to be like, and also Worf is here. And
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Don't worry. I remembered that.
It's actually kind of funny that you do that because that same quote is used to end a season of Babylon 5.
Oh, really? Interesting. It's I like that poem. It's in the director's cut of the movie Nixon. In a really cool scene. Where Nixon meets with the director of the CIA.
Does Nixon say it, or does the director of the CIA say it?
The director of the CIA says it. And It's really creepy. And like his eyes turn black for a second.
Ooh.
Nixon goes in to dress down the director of the CIA because Nixon had tried to plant his own guy at the CIA, and the CIA director just sidelined him. And then so Nixon goes in to like chew out the CIA director, and it becomes very apparent very fast that the CIA director is like 8 levels of chess strategy above Nixon.
I thought you were going to say it becomes very clear that he's a demon because his eyes turn black.
Also, he's a demon, and he like he makes all these insinuations about like JFK and stuff. It's a really cool scene. I'll put a link in the description. Anyway, so I've actually, for the very first time, kind of compiled some stats. But first I'll ask, how do you think this season compares to previous seasons?
I think we've been on the upslope, generally speaking.
Okay.
So, pretty good.
So here's some number crunching I did.
Okay.
So I took the average of our ratings for each season. Which I know isn't a perfect system. For one thing, like, it disproportionately weighs captains because the jump between captain and commander is a full pip.
Yeah. Instead
of a half pip. But anyway. So, first season. And these numbers are all very close together. So,
okay.
Like, let's take seeming trends with a grain of salt. But first season, you gave an average of 2.26 pips.
Okay.
I gave an average of 2.47 for a combined average of 2.37.
I buy that.
Season 2, we both gave an average of 2.56. Our pips totaled up to exactly the same amount.
Nice.
For a combined average of 2.56. So that is a overall increase, obviously. Season 3, I actually stayed exactly the same with Season 3 as I was on Season 2. You went up to 2.63 pips.
Yeah, I feel like I'm remembering there being several captains in Season 3. And so if captains are weighed disproportionately, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you gave 4 captains, I gave 3 in Season 3.
So definitely not as many captains this season. But
Yep. And so in season 4, you went down to 2.46 pips, and I went up to 2.62 pips, for a slight decrease of a combined average of 2.54.
Interesting. So we preferred season 3, although you're tied with season 3 and season 2 personally, but
right.
Interesting. Okay.
So
I guess you personally prefer season 4. I
right.
had season 3 a little better. Okay. Interesting.
So make what you will of those numbers, if there's anything to read into them, but I think the general feeling is, I agree, we're definitely on the uptrend. But I think there were a few rough episodes in season 4 that might have harmed its overall rating a little bit. So, that said, let's get into our top and bottom episodes real fast. So,
okay.
We have, first of all, our top 5 episodes. We have 5 episodes tied at 6 pips.
Huh.
That we have to, I guess, pick 3 of to be our 5th place, 4th place, and 3rd place.
Okay.
So we have The Visitor, Indiscretion, Little Green Men, Our Man Bashir, and To the Death.
All solid episodes. Okay.
So I think for me personally, I'd say the ones I'd want to keep in that list are The Visitor, Our Man Bashir, and it's tough between To the Death and Little Green Men.
Yeah, so I was gonna for sure say The Visitor and Our Man Bashir, so I can agree with those. I think for me, I would probably put To the Death, but I agree that Little Green Men is real close.
Yeah. So we'll call To the Death number 5. And then what order do you think we should put The Visitor and Our Man Bashir in?
Oh man, they're such different episodes. Like,
right?
For me personally, I prefer the fun over the emotional, so I would probably go Our Man Bashir first. But that's really,
I mean, I think I agree. It just feels, I mean, The Visitor, I feel like, is just definitely a more objectively good episode.
No, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Where Our Man Bashir, I think, is almost sort of a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm fine with putting that at. So we'll put Our Man Bashir on top at number 3, The Visitor number 2, To the Death number 5. Our number 2 is no question. It's The Quickening with a total of 7 pips because I gave it a captain. And our number 1, which will not be a surprise, is The Way of the Warrior, which we both gave a captain.
Yep.
So The Way of the Warrior got a 9.0 on IMDb.
Not surprising.
Yep. The Quickening got 7.6. The Our Man Bashir got 7.9. The Visitor is the highest
not
rated
surprised.
on IMDb with 9.1, which, I totally understand where that comes from. And To the Death got 8.0.
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
And so our bottom 3... So the bottom 1 is...
That's obviously it's Sons of Moog. I can see that.
The bottom 1 is Sons of Moog. And then we got to choose between Hard Time, Shattered Mirror, and Crossfire, which all have 3.5 total pips. And I think my preference would be to toss out Hard Time from that list.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. It's also probably like an objectively good episode. Yeah. It's just like, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I almost want to... There's some episodes that I just feel like I want to do a revisit on sometime, because, I mean, there's so much that's good about that episode. If it was a standalone sci-fi story...
Yeah, like
I would be way up on it.
Yeah, you're right.
But like this being a thing that happens to Chief O'Brien, and then just being kind of weirdly shoved in here and never having any consequences, it's all wrong. And also, just the horrible. Like, I don't want to see Chief O'Brien putting a phaser to his head.
No, not at all.
So between Shattered Mirror and Crossfire.
Which one even is Crossfire? I'm not remembering off the top.
Crossfire is Odo's secret crush on Kira.
Oh yeah, that one sucked. Okay. I mean, I don't like Mirror Universe, but I don't like Crossfire either. Honestly, I could go either way. I think looking at my ratings, I rated Crossfire lower than Shattered Mirror, but
right.
I'm not a fan of either. So,
I mean, I rated Crossfire higher.
Yeah.
You rated Shattered Mirror higher.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm okay with putting Shattered Mirror down at the lower spot because I don't like the Mirror Universe. So like just on principle, I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Put that down.
Yeah, I think I agree with Crossfire being higher than Shattered Mirror still. So
bottom of Sons of Moog, and
right.
then Shattered
Mirror, and then Crossfire will be our third worst.
Okay.
So, and then let's see. So yeah, Crossfire got 7.1 on IMDb. Shattered Mirror 7.1, and Sons of Moog shockingly 7.2.
Wow.
I'm surprised that's not more universally hated.
People all felt similarly about those episodes, at least, that they were close together in rating, although higher than... Which one of our tops was like a 7 point something? Was that Way of the Warrior? Or Arman Bashir? Was it Arman Bashir? Oh, it was Quickening.
Quickening was 7.6. And Arman Bashir was 7.9.
Okay, so Quickening didn't get that much more.
Yeah. I'm surprised at the Quickening. I would have thought that would have been over an 8, but oh well. So the top IMDb, The Visitor 9.1, Way of the Warrior 9.0, Little Green Men 8.4, which I feel like that benefits from like a gimmick episode effect.
Yeah.
Or something.
Absolutely.
Where people are just like it for what it is.
Well, yeah, and it's it's a Ferengi episode. Ferengi episodes tend to be funny, and that's a positive. And also, it's memorable. You remember the one where they go back in time.
Yeah, it's like, you think about that, and you're like, oh yeah, I love that episode, or whatever. Yeah. Paradise Lost 8.3, and then Homefront, Hard Time, Broken Link all have 8.2.
What was the lowest on IMDb?
So, okay. The bottom 7, Sons of Moog in a Session, 7.2. Crossfire Shattered Mirror, 7.1. Rejoined, 7.0, which I'm kind of surprised at.
Yeah.
Sword of Kahless, 6.9. And the very bottom is The Muse.
Yeah.
Which I kind of liked The Muse, but I totally understand how that would be the bottom.
I get that being down there. I wonder if Rejoined is like certain crowds not liking LGBTQ themes.
I mean, I was wondering about that. I went and I looked at the reviews. It didn't have a higher volume of reviews than normal, which you might expect from like review bombing.
Right, yeah.
And just kind of like the review titles I looked for seemed to center around the theme that they don't like Dax, or it was boring, or something. One was like good premise, horrible execution, or something like that. So, which I kind of understand. Kind of like the central conflict of that episode was kind of dumb.
Yeah,
where it's like, it works more as a metaphor than like literally what's going on.
Yeah, we discussed that at the time.
Right.
That, we have similar issues with a lot of that.
And you can go back and listen to all of our reviews of these episodes.
He'll put a link to all of the reviews in the description. No, wait, don't do that.
Or just click on the channel and then go to anyway. And then we'll go through this real fast. This is a discussion we always have. Is like, so what would you think is like the tight essential 5 of the season?
Well, Way of the Warrior, especially if we're counting it at 1, that's absolutely essential. Like, you can't not see Worf show up.
And plus, it's kind of a cheat because it's like a double length episode.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And then,
like maybe Homefront and Paradise Lost.
I almost don't know if we really need them. Because, I mean, the Changeling threat is pretty well established.
Yeah.
Without them.
Okay. I'm gonna come at this a different way. What can we throw out?
Right.
Hippocratic Oath. I mean, that says some interesting things about the Dominion, but I think you can throw that out. Indiscretion. I mean, there's some character stuff that's bringing in Zial.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put indiscretion off to the side. Rejoin, you don't need. Starship Down, I don't think you need. Little Green Men, Kahless, you definitely don't need those.
Right.
Our Man Bashir, don't need that. It's just fun. Crossfire is a major change for Kira and her new relationship, but I don't know that that's like super necessary.
Yeah.
Sons of Moog, don't need that. Bar Association, definitely don't need that unless you really want to follow Rom's ascension from bar helper to what he becomes. Shattered Mirror, don't need. Hard Time, you don't really need. The Muse, you certainly don't need. For the Cause, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that explains what's going on with Eddington for sure. The Quickening, you don't need. Broken Link, I feel like you do need.
Yeah, you need Broken Link.
So you start with Way of the Warrior and Broken Link for sure, which leaves us with 3.
So, well, maybe we can put in. I think we can put in For the Cause.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if we need To the Death.
I
mean, it does introduce Weiyun.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like especially if we're leaving out the other 2 major Dominion pieces, that's like a pretty significant Dominion meeting moment. I don't know. I could go either way on that.
So maybe we will put in those 2 episodes. So we'll have Way of the Warrior, Homefront and Paradise Lost, For the Cause, and Broken Link.
Okay, yeah,
or something like that.
I could go with that. I mean, it's a shame to leave something as like important to the the zeitgeist of Deep Space Nine as the Visitor out, but it's not like story wise necessary.
It's like if we expanded it to a 10, then we'd start throwing in stuff like Our Man Bashir and
no.
Now, I guess if you have no further points, we can jump into the best part of the wrap-up episodes, which is the trivia section, or I don't know what you have prepared, but
I've got two things prepared this time, since you usually do 2. So
I only have one.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess
it might be kind of a long one. So we'll do one of yours, then we'll do mine, then we'll do the other one of yours. How's that?
That makes sense. So the first section of mine is just 10 sort of trivia things.
Okay, general trivia. Okay.
Yeah. We'll see what you score. Some of this is like stuff we talked about in the show, so it's like how much do you remember what we've talked about, and some of it is definitely not. So it's a mix in here. So the first one is worth 2 points. What 2 actors made changes to how their names appeared in the credits this season?
Well, that would obviously have to be. Wait a second. I was about to say Alexander Siddig, but was that this season or last season? So let me think through the whole cast. Are we talking main cast?
Are
they in the opening title sequence?
No, I don't think that I would say it was limited strictly to main cast.
Okay. So let's think. Is this is one of them like Andrew Robinson became Andrew J. Robinson or something like that?
It is.
Okay. And I'll just throw in Alexander Siddig for number 2.
That is correct. You got them both.
Oh, nice.
Alexander Siddig started his name change at the beginning of this season, so it does probably seem like a long way off at this point.
Sure.
Going along with that, now, in that main title sequence, the order of names changed. Alexander Siddig's name went from being between Renee Auberjonois and Terry Farrell to instead being between Armin Shimmerman and Nana Visitor. Why did they move him?
Is it because the opening credits are in alphabetical order or something like that?
They are in alphabetical order, and that is why, yes.
Nice.
Nicely done.
By last name?
It's got to be by like.
Oh yeah, Avery name. Brooks. I guess he'd go first, no matter what. So that looks out. It just reminds me of The Wire, where the guy who played McNulty, Can't believe I don't remember his name, but he was always first in the credits, and the entire rest of like the massive cast was in alphabetical order.
Take that, everyone else who's not as important.
It's like he's the only one who thought to negotiate for like
top billing.
Being
That's good. Good for him, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, he is kind of the main character of The Wire, but even though, I mean, The Wire doesn't really have a main character, but if it does have one, he's it. So,
So the next one is something that we never talked about. I didn't even know until I was looking up information about season 4, but was just so interesting I could not leave it out.
Okay.
So, why does Cisco have hair during the first 3 seasons of the show?
So, I mean, just the underlying premise of that question has me scratching my head.
So I can help with that.
Okay.
Avery Brooks prefers by far to not have hair.
Okay. I would just guess to make him look younger or something. That's all I can think of.
So the answer is
we talked about this, didn't we? It was to distinguish him from his character on another show, like he was on Miami Vice or one of those detective type shows, wasn't he?
Okay, I'm going to give it to you because I apparently just forgot that we talked about this. But so Paramount insisted because they thought if he was bald, audiences would think he looked too much like his previous role of Hawk on Spencer for Hire.
Okay, yeah. I think we did talk about that at some point, but because it is rattling around in my brain somewhere.
And so at the beginning of season 4, or before season 4 started, Avery Brooks is like, can I please shave my head now? And and the producers were like, I don't think Paramount's going to sign off on it. And they went to Paramount, and Paramount was like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
So that is why he finally gets to shave his head.
All right. I'm doing good so far.
Yeah, you got 4 for 4 points so far. 2 more points here. Season 4 is the only season where these 2 major recurring characters do not appear.
Okay, so one I'm pretty sure is Grand Nagus Zek, because I was thinking about that when I was reviewing for this. I was like, we never saw Zek this season. Who else? I'm sure it's going to be really obvious.
I guess spoilers for every other season that Zek shows up in all of them. But
Kai Wynn?
It is Wynn. Yep.
Okay. I think I was thinking about that too. Yep.
I didn't realize that. I didn't think about. We had several Ferengi episodes this season, so it's weird that like Zek never shows up.
And I'm pretty sure Rom was just wearing the Zek makeup in that one episode.
In that one episode. You just have a bad imagination, Quark. What can we tell you?
Yeah. It's like, why do you look like Rom wearing Grand Nagus Zek's face?
So number 5. We talked a lot about Sirach Lofton does not appear in this episode this season.
Uh-huh.
How many episodes does he appear in?
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Out of 26, so I'm counting the Way of the Warriors one still.
I think it'll be cheating to look at the list of episodes, so I won't. So you said Way of the Warrior counts as 1?
Right.
Okay, so Way of the Warrior, he's definitely in the Visitor. He's in the Muse. He was in Homefront and Paradise Lost. What else? He was in that one. He was in For the Cause, I'm pretty sure. And I'll throw in 3 more just because that feels right. So I'll say 9.
He was in 10.
Oh, shoot.
That was very close. Although, you've gone a long way because the next question is worth 10 points. And it's like, how many of them can you name?
Okay. So, I think I named... How many did I name? 6 already?
I'm not sure how many you named already. We're going to have to do them again.
So,
because
Way of the Warrior, The Visitor, Paradise Lost, and Homecoming. The Muse... And I said For the Cause, which I'm not 100% sure, but I'll stick with it, I guess.
Okay.
And then, let me think.
I think that's 6 that you said.
Yeah. Yeah, I have 6 fingers up, so.
I can't count your fingers from here.
Yeah. Man. I'm I'm just trying to think of all the Jake scenes we've seen.
I guess that you're missing a big Jake one.
Ooh. Man. It's tempting because I have part of the list of episodes right in front of me, so I'm trying not to look directly at it.
No, don't do that.
No matter where I go on my notes, there are some episodes in there. Okay, so I'll limit it to ones that were already in our discussion. Oh, he was in Hard Time, wasn't he? I know that.
He does show up in Hard Time, yep.
Oh, he was a Shattered Mirror.
That's the
obviously.
one. Yep.
And I'll say, oh, I already said. I was trying to think. It was like, what was the one where Odo got married? Was he in that scene? But that was the Muse, which was also a Jake episode. So
yeah, he was in that one a little bit. You know.
I'll just have to take a stab at some. So I'll say we know he was not in Broken Link because we discussed that.
Yep.
So, he must have been in a session, right? And let's throw in Crossfire. And those are my 10 guesses.
Okay. 1 second, because I just counted and I realized that I am missing one, so I want to make sure. Oh, but I'm pretty sure it is one that you just said. So hold on. Oh, he doesn't? Okay. So he does not appear in The Way of the Warrior. He does not appear in Accession.
Okay.
The ones that I have that you got that he does appear in are The Visitor, Homefront, Paradise Lost, Hard Time, Shattered Mirror, The Muse, and For the Cause. 2 that I have noted that you did not get are Indiscretion and Little Green Men.
So is that just 6 total?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, it's 7 points
that you got right. Okay, yeah. I'll take it. So,
and then you got 7 plus 6 is you're not 13, and yeah, apparently I missed writing one down, and I don't know which one it was, but I'm not going to go look through every episode to figure it out now.
He was in Little Green Men.
He was, is what? At
the very beginning.
Must have been at the very beginning. Yeah. Oh. I didn't go back and watch the episode. I just looked through the wiki to find all the ones that said Sirach Lofted did not appear in this episode.
That started with Noggs giving away like his teeth.
Oh
stuff,
yeah,
right?
Yep.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Similar note. How many episodes does Michael Eddington appear in?
Okay, I want to say it was just 2. I want to say he was in the. For some reason, why am I thinking he was in the submarine episode? And obviously the For the Cause. So I'll just say 2.
He was actually in 3. Now, name the 3.
Okay. For the Cause, for sure.
Yep.
I do not know why I want to say he's in that submarine episode, but I do not remember what he did in that episode if he was in it. So, but it's all I can think of. So I'll put
Starship Down?
Yeah, Starship Down. There we go. And was he in the Muse? Those are my 3 guesses.
So he was in For the Cause, absolutely. So you get 1 point for that one. He was in and actually had a pretty significant role in Our Man Bashir, if you recall that.
Oh, right.
And his third one is Rejoined.
I
don't remember what he did in Rejoined, but he was in it.
I don't blame myself for missing that one.
Okay, this one should be pretty easy.
Okay.
3 points on this one. Who has gotten promoted since season 3?
Since season 3?
Yeah. So since season 3 ended, which characters have gotten promoted?
So you say 3?
I didn't. Yeah, there's 3 points. Sorry, I thought you're like season 3. Yeah, and also there's 3. Yes.
So since season 3, okay, I guess it must be just because the Way of the Warrior was so long ago, but it must be Bashir and Dax, and Cisco.
Yeah, Cisco. There you go.
Well, Cisco.
Okay.
Yeah. Did he get promoted at the end of last season or the beginning of this season?
It was the first episode.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay, last question. And this is a complete the quote. It's 2 people talking, and I'm going to read the first person's part, they have a line, and then you're going to have to say the line in the middle, and then there's a line at the end. So I'll say the 2 lines, and you have to pick the one that's in between them, or complete the one that's in between them.
Okay.
So the first part is, I find this hand-to-hand combat really quite distasteful. And then there's the line left out, and then the other line is, you have to admit, it's much more civilized.
Ooh, that sounds very Garrick. So, I gotta get the missing line.
Yep.
It's obviously like, would you prefer something or something like that? Yeah, I'm drawing a complete blank. So, okay. Say again what parts I gotta get, the missing line and who said it?
No, I didn't say you had to get who said it, but probably if you figured out who said it, it would help you get the line.
Yeah. I want to say it's like something like, would you prefer the torture chamber or something like that, but that's all I can come up with.
You know, that's pretty close. I'll give you that. What Ducat says is, I suppose you prefer the simplicity of an interrogation chamber.
Right.
So yeah, you did 18 out of 24 points on that. It's not bad.
I can't believe I even slightly got that right, but
yeah, you were closer than I expected, since you were just like, I have no idea when this. Yeah. Okay.
For some reason, I was thinking it was Worf, but all right. So what's my total score?
18 out of 24.
All right, so 75%. Not bad.
Not bad.
Okay, so here's my quiz, which is, I will tell you the name of a TV show, the season and episode number, which has the same title as an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Oh my.
Season 4.
Okay.
There's some slight variations where like one will have had like a the in front and the other one didn't.
Sure.
But,
so I'm gonna leave Sword of Kahless off the list.
Right. Let me look at my list of ones that, although I almost did ones that were like the same format. Like there's a lot of episode titles that are the Sword of blank.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But I decided to just go very strictly with pretty much the same title.
Okay.
And these are in random order. So the first one, and my notes are very sloppy, so I hope I don't accidentally say the title of the episode. But the first one I'm going to say is Castle, Season 8, Episode 22, and I'll give you the IMDb synopsis.
Okay, good, because that'll help a lot.
Yeah. Castle and Beckett have their lead and are ready to face Loksat, or Loksat, or whatever. I did not make it this far in Castle, apparently, so... But an unexpected twist puts everything in danger.
I definitely made it this far in Castle, but I am going to pull up the list of episodes, because...
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can choose your own difficulty. If you want to look at the list of episodes, go ahead.
Okay, so...
And I tried to find ones where the synopsis could give you a hint at the title, but that was not always possible.
Yeah. This could be... There's several that would fit this description and that would fit Castle. Okay, if it sounded more like a mystery of the week, I might go for Body Parts, but that doesn't sound like what this is. I don't feel like the word accession has ever been used anywhere else. I'm gonna narrow it down to, I think it's maybe Indiscretion, maybe Crossfire, maybe Homefront. I'm gonna pick one of those, and I don't know that I have a preference. I'm gonna say Crossfire.
Correct.
Oh my! Yeah, okay. No, I totally 100% knew that the whole time.
Right. Okay. Next, MacGyver Season 6, Episode 10.
Okay.
While driving through a small town, MacGyver sees something resembling a UFO landing and starts to investigate.
Little Green Men.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
That was The Visitor.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense too. If I hadn't had that right little green man right in front of me, then I might have given it more consideration. But I was just like, nope, I'm going for it. Okay, no.
I had a feeling that might throw you for a curve. Okay, next. You Can't Do That on Television, Season 5, Episode 11. You remember that show?
Yeah, I do remember You Can't Do That on Television.
I remember it existing. I do not remember...
I remember
watching it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the producer has Ross check through the cast for a perfect body type to be featured in an upcoming commercial. The kids look upon this as a stepping stone for one of them to become a star, but haven't a clue what body type is being sought.
I feel like body parts is maybe too obvious here. Like the word body was getting thrown in there a lot. That's gonna be my backup if I can't think of a better one. Bar association, not gonna be that one. I'm just gonna go for body parts.
Correct.
Yeah, I almost talked myself out of it. Okay.
Yeah. Next, Reign. That's Reign.
Okay.
Which is a show that apparently exists and had at least 3 seasons.
Good to know.
Season 3, Episode 14. Mary realizes her need to return to Scotland is becoming increasingly imminent, and that, along with the help of Bash, she must raise her own army to save her throne.
Oh, man,
Elizabeth enlists Lola's help to find out information about her mother, which backfires when Lola gets caught.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. I was like, Mary's need to go back to Scotland? Why did she? And then as we continued, I'm like, oh, I get who we're talking about. Okay. Right. It's not just some random Mary. Okay.
Yeah. I have a feeling this is probably a Elizabeth versus Mary Queen of Scots.
Seems like it.
Type show.
Okay. Starship Down, throwing that out of contention. Sons of Moog, that's not in. I mean, could be rules of engagement, but it doesn't sound like a fight going on just yet. There's so much in that.
Right.
It could be. I don't know that Homefront quite fits. Maybe. Depending on what the rest of Reign is about. Like, this could be the Homefront episode of Reign.
True.
But I don't know that...
I have no clue what happens in any other episode of Reign.
I'm gonna guess indiscretion based on some of what you said.
I'm sorry, that was To the Death.
I was sitting here looking at To the Death or For the Cause and thinking either of those could be, and then I went a different way because I couldn't figure out which might be. Oh well.
So next up we have The Waltons, Season 9, Episode 18. And this is I'm going to read this exactly as it is written, which is not very good.
Okay.
Cora Beth finds a romantic letter in Ike's belongings and wants a divorce. She says she could not forgive him. Semicolon. He says he forgave her. Turns out he knew about her visits with former friend. Drew and Elizabeth celebrate 1 year.
Okay, I feel like that's got to be indiscretion. But,
correct.
Okay, yeah. This relationship sounds really toxic, and they really shouldn't be continuing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've never seen The Waltons, so I don't know. All right, next up we have Stargate SG-1, Season 3, Episode 9. And for bonus points, so you can go double or nothing, since I know you're a big Stargate SG-1 fan.
Yep.
And I won't read the synopsis.
Oh my gosh, okay. Season 3 of Stargate, you say?
Yes.
Okay, because there's definitely a Paradise Lost episode of Stargate, but I'm pretty sure it's later than Season 3. Well, okay, hold on. Let me go through them all, because I'm literally in the middle of my rewatch of Stargate SG-1, and I'm pretty sure that I just started Season 4, so I should know Season 3.
Okay.
Let's see if I can figure this out. Okay, so Way of the Warrior, no. I don't think The Visitor. I don't remember a Hippocratic Oath type thing. We already did Indiscretion. Rejoin's a possibility. I don't think there's a Little Green Man episode. Definitely not a Short of Kalis or an Armand Bashir. Homefront and Crossfire could both be. I think Return to Grace is also an episode of SG-1, but I don't think it's this early because I don't think I've reached it in my rewatch yet. Sons of Moog is out. Bar Association is out. Accession, once again, I don't think anyone has ever used that. Rules of Engagement, that may be an SG-1 episode. Hard Time is absolutely an SG-1 episode. In fact, I think I just watched that one. Shattered Mirror may also be. Oh, okay. I think I'm going to go with Hard Time.
Okay, that's wrong.
Ah.
For half a point, I'll read you the synopsis.
Okay, now I have to find out if Hard Time was really an SG-1 episode, and I'm just not remembering.
I did not notice one when I was doing my research, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's not one. Okay, so here's the synopsis. SG-1 come across another SG team being attacked by Jaffa. They offered to help, but are shot by the SG team members. When they awake, they find out that the other SG team are Jaffa, loyal to Apophis, who are planning to infiltrate Earth. Can SG-1 convince them that Apophis is dead before the Jaffa fight to the death?
It turns out they can, but it also turns out that they end up being wrong because Apophis is not dead after all. But that's Rules of Engagement.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll give you 1/2 a point. Whoever wrote the Stargate SG-1 synopsis on IMDb needs to learn the value of brevity.
Oh, the one I was thinking was called Hard Time is called Beneath the Surface. That's my bad. Oh, well.
Next up, we have Bomb Girls, Season 2, Episode 1. With the war intensifying overseas, Gladys is inspired to organize a fundraiser for Canadian POWs, which her parents commandeer for their own means. And if you get this right, I will give you 3 points.
Well, that feels like Homefront to me.
Okay.
Because it's during the war and they're trying to raise money on the home front. So that's what I'm going to have to go with. But I assume that if you're like, this is hard to get, then that's not correct.
Yes, that is The Quickening.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There must be some aspect of that episode
that quickens.
Yeah. Or just their writers are as bad as coming up with titles as the Deep Space Nine writers are sometimes.
That might be right too.
Okay, next we have The Pretender, Season 3, Episode 7. Jared takes on the identity of an arms dealer to help a mother get her children back from her gangster ex-husband.
I used to love The Pretender, but I haven't watched I watched a couple episodes a few months ago, but it's been years since I watched any more than that. So this is not easy. Okay, so he's helping a mother get her kid back from her gangster husband. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Arms dealer husband.
No, I thought he was pretending to be an arms dealer.
He takes the identity of an arm. Yeah, you're correct.
Okay.
He pretends to be an arms dealer. The husband is a gangster.
I feel like another Crossfire, but no. Okay, hold on. It's not Starship Down. That's not.
Yeah. And there are no repeats in this quiz.
Okay, well that should help a little bit.
I'll make that clear.
So it's not To the Death. It's not The Quickening. We've decided.
Right.
It's not Army and Bashir. We did Indiscretion. The Hippocratic Oath doesn't seem to fit that at all. We've already done The Visitor. The Way of the Warrior feels a little prosaic for that story. Return to Grace.
Nope, it is Homefront.
I've been sitting here trying Homefront, and okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's, I guess, a little bit of a pun or something. I don't know. Next up, we have The X-Files, Season 2, Episode 1. With The X-Files shut down, Mulder travels to Puerto Rico on a tip from his mentor in the Senate to uncover the reason behind the sudden reactivation of a remote, long-abandoned SETI-like communications station.
Okay. I'm gonna with the X-Files. I'm gonna say Little Green Men again.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just like, that could be like half the episodes of the X-Files. I don't know.
Next up we have Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Nice, okay.
Season 5, episode 16. When Kevin says that Sabrina was the inspiration for his songs, Sabrina feels like she has to be his something 24 hours a day.
Oh, the muse.
Correct.
Okay, now just throwing softballs now. I'll take them because I've not been doing well.
Next up, and what is by far my favorite on this list, Walker, Texas Ranger, Season 8, Episode 4. A shaman transports Walker back 100 years to prove the innocence of a Comanche Indian. In the present, he must prove the innocence of another one who is accused of murder.
So he's in both time periods at the same time?
Or going back and forth or something.
Oh my gosh, okay. Well, it's not Bar Association or Sons of Moog, that's for sure.
So, yes, Walker, Texas Ranger apparently had magical time travel.
I would never have guessed. Okay. Oh, gosh. That almost feels like a quickening to me, but we've established that that's not going to be it. Oh, gosh. Okay. That's so weird. Rejoined.
Nope, that one was The Way of the Warrior.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I wasn't even considering that one, and yeah, that makes so much sense.
A little tricky. All right, next up we have Stargate SG-1, Season 6, Episode 15, and I'll make you the same deal I made last time. So you can go double or nothing, or you can choose to hear the synopsis and get a full point.
So yeah, we'll do the double because if we're talking season 6, but there's two episodes that I feel like could have been from later. Oh, now I'm gonna have to like coin flip and then watch them both be wrong because I already mentioned that Paradise Lost is absolutely a Stargate episode from a later season. But which and I also know that Return to Grace is an SG-1 episode, but what season is that? I'm gonna say Paradise Lost.
Correct.
Yay!
2 points.
I have to see what season Return to Grace was. Oh, wait, it might be coming up. Never mind, I won't do that.
Good thinking. Okay, next up we have CSI Miami, Season 2, Episode 3. Maggots dropping down to the neighbor below from an apartment being renovated allow discovery of the body of Peg Donovan. Her skull was smashed with lumber, but she survived. But her body was found in the apartment, so I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Horatio's only logical suspect is Mason Shaw, who was convicted for raping her, and maybe planning from jail to prevent her testimony ruining his upcoming parole hearing. The team must find proof beforehand if he orchestrated everything from his Georgia prison, somehow manipulating his own son.
Huh. Okay. We already did body parts, or I would be a little bit tempted on that one. We did the quickening also. We're running out of options now. I'm gonna pick one. He's in jail. We're gonna try Hard Time.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. There
nice. We go. Yeah. There's really no need to overthink these. And then finally, we have Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Season 3, Episode 7. A failing medical student plans to use murder to graduate.
Well, a medical student, that's got to be Hippocratic Oath.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yay!
Okay, so that gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5 out of, I think I had a total of 14 of those.
I'll take that any day. That's fine.
The ones that... Okay, so IMDb, you can search for just episode titles. And so the ones that I did not get any returns back or at least in the top list of returns, because it'll give you like similar ones.
Yeah.
But the ones that I could not find any other uses for were A Session, The Sword of Kalis, amazingly, Our Man Bashir, Sons of Moog,
right?
For the Cause. Apparently, according to my notes, could not find any other episodes called For the Cause.
Interesting. Yeah, that one I would have thought.
Nor Return to Grace. So if you have a Stargate SG-1 one, then it just did not return in IMDb.
I think I'm wrong, and the episode may have just been called Grace.
Okay. Bar Association, Starship Down, Rejoined, strangely did not have any other that I could find.
Interesting.
And Broken Link.
Yeah, Broken Link, I kept thinking that could fit something, but then I'm like, that's so like specific.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty good, given the kind of random nature of a few of them.
Yeah, no, you know what? I got the very first one right on like a complete guess, so I was happy the whole way through.
Yep. And I'm glad you didn't make me read this absolute novel of a plot synopsis for Paradise Lost.
I mean, I could give you a plot synopsis, audience, if you want right now, because it's an interesting episode with references to the Furlings, which doesn't happen all that often. But we'll keep moving.
Yeah, you're not just, as long as you don't start talking about like Harry's Zat is missing, but Jack still has his P90.
These are very important facts about the episode, because you can't trust Harry. Mayborn.
It says Harry attempts to double cross SG-1. So
I mean, he was in jail for treason. So yeah, after he freaking his secret side operation failed, and he went and defected to the Russians and gave them a bunch of information about the Stargate program. And
that's not good.
No, it was not good.
Don't need those guys having that.
Okay. No, can't trust the Russians, obviously. I mean, what are you going to do? Okay, let me... I realized as we were going through that my next section, there were several questions that I had written, it's multiple choice, so I wrote the 3 choices, and I did not know which of the choices was the correct one. And so while we've been doing this, I've been re-looking at some things to add the correct answers, and I have one left. So let me do this one real quick, and then we can move
Good multitasking there.
So the next one, what I pulled up is deals with reviews.
Okay.
And so there's a few different, because I started out with an idea, and then I didn't find enough of that idea to fill it up, so I kind of segued into some other ideas.
That same thing happened to me, because at first I wanted to do just a general trivia where the answer to everything was a title of an episode.
Ooh.
But that turned out to be much tougher to do than I realized. And then I stumbled across that Walker, Texas Ranger, Way of the Warrior plot synopsis, and I was like, I know what I have to do now.
I know now what I must do. Okay, so I took reviews from the first few questions are pretty much all reviews from Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
About the entire season.
Okay.
And so what I did was there's 3 reviews that I'm going to read, and the first question has audience. These are reviews from the audience. One of them is for Deep Space Nine Season 4. One of them is for The Simpsons Season 4.
Okay.
And one of them is for Dexter Season 4. So these first several questions are like that. They're all about Season 4s of shows that I'm pretty sure you know well enough to try to place. So that'll be the first 4 questions here. So
got it.
The first one, these are audience reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm going to read all 3 of them, and you match the correct show with the review. So review A, you've made it to Season 4 and have started to question your life choices. At this point, the only reason to keep on watching is to see if it can get any worse. So that was A. B, what is there not to love? It is all so good. And then C, a season I enjoyed much more when I was younger, but now find it a little slow at the beginning.
Okay, so I'm guessing the first one has to be Dexter, the second one has to be The Simpsons, and the third one has to be Deep Space Nine.
I was going to note that in case anyone was unaware, season 4 of The Simpsons has such classics as Marge versus the Monorail, Whacking Day, Krusty Gets Canceled, lots of fun. Mr. Plow, I'd forgotten about that one.
That's a good one. Yeah, there's no way someone would say you've made it this far and you're going to see how bad things can get about season 4 of The Simpsons.
So no, you were right on The Simpsons. So there's a point there. What is there not to love? It's all so good. Is Simpsons season 4? The other two you mixed up. Someone said that Deep Space Nine. How can it just watch to see if it can get any worse? And then season 4 of Dexter, which is I believe Trinity Killer season, is apparently they feel it started off slow.
Huh. I mean, yeah, season 4 of Dexter is a lot of people's favorite season of Dexter. So, but season 3, I remember not liking very much. So I was thinking maybe it was referring to that.
That would make sense. Yeah,
like, you've been questioning your life choices or whatever.
Which killer is season 3?
Season 3 is when he makes friends with the DA, who turns out to be ultra corrupt.
Oh, yeah. No, that wasn't. And is that also? No, never mind. This is the one where Rita dies because of the Trinity.
Yeah, yeah. Rita dies at the end of season 4. Yeah.
Spoiler for that old show. Okay, so
unapologetic spoiler.
Now, still the same 3 shows for question 2. These are the critical reviews.
Got it.
So the A is, based on what I've seen so far, we're looking at a killer season. B, a great ending to a great season. And C, every episode from season 4 is perfect. TV at its best.
Okay, so I think 3 has to be The Simpsons. Okay. Deep Space Nine, a great ending. So number 2 is a great ending to a great season, right?
Right.
And number 1 was...
based on what I've seen so far, we're looking at a killer season.
That's got to be Dexter. For several reasons. First of all, I think that's the only show that actually existed at the same time as Rotten Tomatoes. And also, there's a killer pun. So by process of elimination, number 2 has to be Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, all 3 right on that one. Way to go. Then I started running out of good reviews from those. Like that was my start to try to use those 3 shows.
Sure.
And then I started running out. So now, question 3, there's one from Deep Space Nine, one from Futurama season 4, and one from Breaking Bad season 4.
Okay. The Futurama season numbering is always weird, but season 4 was the last one before the movies, right?
Yes, that is correct.
The one that ended with the devil's hands or idle playthings.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so A. The first 2 seasons were good. They, trying to keep the series alive, they invented a lot of unbelievable situations, and this last season is awful. I'm tired of this kind of series that starts very well and tries to keep them alive, they gumming up with stupid situations. So not the best grammar on that one, but yeah, that was A. B, taking a turn for weirder and bolder stories, season 4 adds an impressive new dimension of episode possibility to the show, while also giving life-changing answers to its characters. And C is picks itself up in the second half. It really had to.
So, okay, we got Deep Space Nine, Futurama, and what again?
Breaking Bad.
Okay. So number 2 has got to be Deep Space Nine.
Okay, so the new dimension of episode possibility. Okay.
No, wait. The one about like characters making life changing. Yeah. Okay.
New dimension of episode possibility while also giving life-changing answers to its characters.
Okay. So number 3 was
picks itself up in the second half. It really had to.
Um, I'm tempted to say that's Breaking Bad. First of all, because that just doesn't sound correct for Futurama. And also because I remember season 2 of Breaking Bad started with the whole like fugue state stuff, and then towards the end it got into some more. That's where it introduced like Gus Fring and like Saul Goodman and all the fan favorite characters.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that one. So number 3, Breaking Bad, and then number 1. What was number 1 again?
Number 1 is the long one. So the first 2 seasons were good. They trying to keep the series alive. They invented a lot of unbelievable situations, and this last season is awful. I'm tired of this kind of series that starts very well and tries to keep them alive. They gumming up with stupid situations.
Yeah, I don't quite understand what that guy's talking about, but
Nope.
It doesn't seem to quite fit with Futurama, but I'm just gonna have to put Futurama there. So Futurama, Deep Space Nine, Breaking Bad.
0 out of 3 on that one.
Oh no!
So the first one is Breaking Bad, where the first 2 seasons were good, and then I guess we don't talk about season 3.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I was thinking of season 2 of Breaking Bad for some reason.
You said that, and I was like, maybe that relates to season 4 in some way, and I'm just, because I didn't watch Breaking Bad, so I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, season 4, yes. Season 4 was... a lot of people complained about season 4 being too slow until like the very last episode when they killed Gus Fring. Spoilers.
And so the new dimension of episode possibility and life-changing answers to its characters is Futurama.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Deep Space Nine picks itself up in the second half. It really had to.
Oh yeah, season 4 of Futurama had the Y of Fry and stuff like that. Okay. I think, was that also the one where Leela discovered where her parents
were?
Her parents,
I think so, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Okay.
So, the last one, or the last of these kind of questions with several reviews in them, is number 4 here. And this one, we're once again going to come out from a different angle.
Okay.
So, these are shows that I know you know.
Okay.
And it's possible that one of the ones we've already done is re-represented here. One of these 3 will be Deep Space Nine, but I want you to try to guess what show we're talking about.
Ooh, okay.
It's a season 4s again, so it's a show that had at least 4 seasons.
Okay.
So the first one is, this is where the series really kicked into high gear and never looked back. So that's one of them. The second one is, Paul Rudd was not in this season.
Huh.
And the third one is, mid-season, it starts to unveil... Oh, hold on, this is... Sorry, a little thing popped up. Mid-season, it starts to unveil and starts to get more and more interesting. Hope season 5 is better and ends in bad terms! 3 exclamation points. Ha 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 ha. BTW, that finale again was stupid with the effects. Don't know why they always choose something to put in the finale that is so, but so unrealistic, bruh.
What? Okay. That erased my memory of everything that came before it. So okay.
The first one was, this is where the series really kicked into high gear and never looked back.
Okay. My tentative guess is that's Deep Space Nine, but okay, let's keep going.
The second one is, Paul Rudd was not in this season.
Okay, I mean, technically true of a lot of stuff.
Right? Yeah. True of many
things.
And
the last one was, the special effects were crazy but unrealistic or something.
Okay, so let's just do it again. Mid-season, it starts to unveil and starts to get more and more interesting. Hope season 5 is better and ends in bad terms! 3 exclamation points. Ha 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 ha. BTW, that finale again was stupid, the effects. ... Don't know why they always choose something to put in the finale that is so, but so unrealistic, bruh.
Okay, I'm actually switching the last one to Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
So, and then, so you say 1 is where, this is where the show starts to kick into high gear. Or, yeah, the first one was, it starts to kick into high gear.
Yep.
I mean, just that number 3 is just such a, throws me for such a loop. And you're going to have to read number 2 one more time for me.
Paul Rudd was not in this season.
Of course. I forget. Paul Rudd was in a show before he was on Friends. But, I mean, Paul Rudd, he didn't show up until after season 4 on Friends. So I don't know why. All I can say for number 2 is Friends. So I'm just locking that in right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 1, I am... man, which one is Deep Space Nine? I'm going to have to put number 3 at Deep Space Nine because I will go insane trying to match that to any other show I've seen.
Okay, that's fair.
So season 4 is where it kicks into high gear.
And never looks back.
And never looks back. Oh boy. And it's a show that you know that I know.
Yep.
Okay.
I was actually curious when you said Paul Rudd was in another show before Friends, so I'm looking at his IMDb. The only thing that he did like more than one episode of was a show called Sisters, and I don't think I've ever heard of that.
I thought he was on some obscure thing before he was on Friends, but
he did a couple episodes of Rebel Highway, Wild Oats, and one episode of Rebel Highway.
Okay, that's probably not what I was thinking of. Okay, what show really kicks into gear in season 4 besides Deep Space Nine? Because that really fits Deep Space Nine.
It does. Like. You want to just go for 2 Deep Space Nines? I'll allow it if you like.
Ooh. No, I want to make a guess.
Okay.
Man, I'm gonna have to go for 2 Deep Space Nines. Just hopefully guarantee 2 points.
It turns out that Paul Rudd is not in the episode of Deep Space. No, that's or the season. That would have been hilarious, actually. But no, you got Friends right. That was the Paul Rudd one.
Okay,
and that one about kicking into high gear was indeed Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
The last one where somebody says "bruh" is Breaking Bad again.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. All so
right. I mean, that is so. The season finale of Breaking Bad was the one where the very famously Gus Fring got blown up, and he walked out with a half of a skeleton head before he died.
So were the effects stupid?
I can see how maybe people thought that. I think generally it was agreed because it was a really famous thing back when it happened that they like brought on these special effects artists to do that effect.
Yeah.
Like I think it was the same guys who did the zombies on The Walking Dead or something.
Oh.
And yeah, but it is, I guess, pretty ridiculous.
Fair enough. Okay, last few questions are, I'm going to give you one review. I'm going to give you multiple choices. These are reviews from IMDb of episodes of Deep Space Nine, and so you just have to say which episode it is.
Just got to pick the episode. Easy.
Yep. So the first one is good episode. Just ignore the boring Penny Johnson, and then in parentheses, the useless Cassidy Yates. I skipped rapidly all scenes with her. And so the options are For the Cause, Indiscretion, or The Visitor.
I mean, that sounds like bait for the Cause. But, was Indiscretion the one where, Cassidy was mad at Cisco because he said, great, or whatever? I'm actually...
Yeah, I think so.
I'm actually going to go for Indiscretion.
So it is, in fact, Indiscretion.
Yes.
Nicely done.
Was Cassidy even in The Visitor?
Was definitely a little bait there. No, Cassidy's not in The Visitor.
Okay.
That was something I threw in to also try to throw you off a little bit.
Gotcha.
All right. The next one is, considering that with 24th century medicine, one can expect significantly increased life expectations, this character could have been whining for over 100 years. Enough said. And then the options are The Visitor, Hard Time, Crossfire.
It's tough. I feel like that doesn't quite match any of those. This character could have been whining for over 100 years.
That's not the entire review. I left off some more specific stuff about the episode, but yeah.
That's fine. So the options are Crossfire,
Hard Time, The Visitor.
Or The Visitor. I'm going to guess The Visitor.
It is the visitor. This
wow.
person had a big problem with Jake, and just the episode is all Jake whining, and considering how long you can live, he might have been whining for over 100 years.
Okay.
So the next one is... Quite literally, 36 minutes of this episode was done in that cheap-looking cave, but it was also in the exact same spot of that cheap-looking cave. They didn't even change the background props. They reused the same scene twice and only used 2 cast members for the entirety of the episode. Was there seriously no money for making this episode? Was it that the script was so bad they didn't feel it necessary to put any effort into the production of this episode? It is a mystery as to why this episode had to be made so cheaply. The plot had potential, but suffered the same fate as most DS9 episodes. So,
wow, most DS9 episodes.
I know, right?
So it's not that one where Kira gets her foot stuck in a rock. That was last season.
So the options that I have are the Quickening, Heart of Stone, and the Sword of Kalos.
Yeah, Heart of Stone wasn't even this season, was it?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Quickening. They weren't in a cave in the Quickening. I mean, my first thought when you read that was Sword of Kalos, so I'm going to say Sword of Kalos.
Yep, it absolutely is Sword of Kalos, and yes, there were no other... I love that review, but there weren't really a bunch of cave episodes this season, so that's why I pulled in Heart of Stone, thinking maybe it'll be like, wait, was that this season after all?
Yeah.
Okay, well done.
You might have got me, except I spent so much time reviewing the titles of the episodes for my quiz, so...
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, here we go. Good, but for me, spoiled a bit by Alexander Siddig's awful acting. I mean, awful. He's perfectly acceptable as Julian the Doctor normally, which is what makes it so jarring. But in this episode, he's terrible. It's not vaudeville. It's half-decent sci-fi. He sapped the escapism out of it. He was so bad. A good story, though, overall.
Huh.
And so,
okay.
The options are Shattered Mirror, Hard Time, or Our Man Bashir.
I don't think I mentioned this. I find his acting really bad in all the Mirror Universe episodes. But when you said that, my gut said Our Man Bashir. But now that I think about it, you're not supposed to go against your gut, but I am going to switch back to Shattered Mirror. Because I agree, his acting in that episode was so bad.
Final answer?
Yep.
It is actually neither of those. It was Hard Time.
Huh.
Which it's funny because he has so little to do in Hard Time. But yeah, apparently.
I wasn't even scrutinizing his acting in that episode, but...
No, yeah. All right. Next one is It's a Wonderful Life in Space is the review. And
Okay.
The options are Shattered Mirror, Body Parts, or The Visitor.
Well, there was an episode I was almost thinking was like It's a Wonderful Life. But, I mean, The Visitor seems like the obvious choice. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with The Visitor.
It is actually Body Parts, where he goes into a big rant about, like, you know, Cork knows he's going to die, sells his body parts, and then Brunt wants his pound of flesh. Everything is contrived, but that conclusion is utterly heartwarming, which I guess is why it's Wonderful Life.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Yeah, with the ending, okay, I kind of see what he's getting at now. Okay. Where he learns that everybody loves him or something.
Okay, last one.
All right.
Contrived, boring. This was an incredibly forced episode. Why is most Bashir episodes so horrible? And why does Federation just keep pushing their own ideas to others? The whole episode is forced. And so the options are The Quickening, Hippocratic Oath, or Rejoined.
Phew. That's a stupid review for any of those episodes. I'm going to go for The Quickening. That was one of the options, right?
Yes, The Quickening is one of the options.
Okay, then I'll lock that in. Final answer.
That is correct.
Okay.
Well done.
That's like the only episode that could be kind of interpreted as the Federation trying to force its...
Yeah, a tiny bit, yep.
Yeah, trying to force its philosophy of You can cure
Don't
horrible
die.
diseases if you want to.
Yeah, it's like there's no need to die. Yeah, so they were just some fun reviews. So
Yep.
I do like how many of them just don't like Bashir.
Right.
And I saw the whole like that. I had the one review that I pulled out for ignore boring Penny Johnson. Cassidy Yates sucks. That was a recurring theme I found in the reviews. I don't know. I didn't look to see if it was like the same guy reviewing multiple episodes with Cassidy sucks, but yeah, there was more than one of those.
I can kind of get it in that episode, but like, overall, I don't know.
So you get 9 out of 18 on that. So
okay,
50%. Yep.
So if we average it with the previous one, that's like something.
It's a number.
67.5% or something. I don't know.
Good times. Okay. Yeah, that's what I got.
62.5. Okay. All right. Good wrap up. I think we're ready for the next season now, which we will be back to whenever we get it up. I'm just being lazy lately. But anyway, yep. We'll wrap that up there. All the usual stuff, Thank you for listening. Check the description. I'm Fletcher. That's Data.
Yep.
And for the final time, until we come up with a new sign out, keep the blood wine warm and the prune juice chilled.